Ladies and gentlemen, the AFL have released the full fixture for 2026. Let's see what Collingwood will be dealing with next year. It's time to talk all things black and white. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is proudly sponsored by TSL and Neon, Melbourne's trusted signage company for commercial LED and neon signs. For more information, please visit tslsigns.com. Link is in the description. Family owned, service all of Victoria. Get around them. Addressing the elephant in the room before we get into the crux of this video. I'm wearing blue light glasses. So I know I'm not trying to be like the BGs or whoever it may be that comes into your mind when you see this look. I'm just dealing with sensitivity to light at the moment. So that's something I'm trying to navigate through along with a couple of other things. But if you want to, we'll save that chat for another day. Here we go. So we get news just about half an hour ago. I mean, they sort of just did little drops of information on Twitter about what we should expect as far as the whole fixture would look like. But we finally got the full release. And as expected, right, we already knew Collingwood versus St Kilda at the G, St Kilda's home game. So it saves us from having another game at Marvel, which you take any day of the week. And full disclosure, guys, this video is not going to be, Collingwood cash cows in before all of that. I'm just here to see what games we're going to pencil in, what periods we may be difficult based on X amount of days break between games. I'm not here for look how difficult our fixture is compared to the other teams. It's just the lay of the land. Get over it. Let's find something else to talk about, and we're gonna find that in this video. So you go from a Sunday to a Saturday, two big clashes right away. St Kilda very hyped, great acquisitions in the off season, going into an Adelaide game, and they're gonna want one back on us after what we did to them in their qualifying final. Some would say we pretty much derailed their season in some ways, and we pointed to the rest of the league that they weren't invincible when we travelled to Adelaide in the second final home and away game, and then we went to the qualifying final, and we sort of gave little bro Hawthorn a nudge, hey, we can do it, so can you, and they did it back to back. So key note there, we get a bye after that game against Adelaide. And then we have a Friday night game at Marvel against GWS. I don't have much to say about that. It means, I assume we probably play GWS twice. We'll get there, but I'll hold my breath on that one. And then there's the massive Easter Thursday clash, which is always at the Gabba, which is expected. And then we get a 8-day break going into Collingwood versus Fremantle, which is the gather-round game in Adelaide. And then a 6-day break going into a home game for Carlton against Collingwood. So that will be a great watch. And I saw something interesting. Carlton got a bunch of Friday night showcase games for broadcast, more than Collingwood. So that was something. But maybe the AFL knows something we don't. Maybe they think Carlton are going to bounce back real quick. Who knows? After that, we get a 7, 8, 9 day break going into Anzac Day against Essendon. So the fixture it's a difficult fixture. Like if you go St Kilda, Adelaide, GWS, Brisbane is actually a bit difficult to read. Giving me some grief right here. Brisbane, Fremantle, Carlton, taking off these fuckers for now. Essendon, and then Hawthorn, which is a 5-day break. So that's going to be a difficult period. Indeed. And then we get another 9-day break going into a clash against the Cats, and that's always a great game. We know how tight that game was. It literally went to after the siren when we played them last time. Going into a Sydney off a 6-day break at the SCG. We played them last at Gather Round in Adelaide, so we didn't travel to the SCG, and nor did they come to the MCG. The first one to note here, which I've already sort of looked ahead of this, is we play West Coast twice, which is nice. It's nice. We don't play Richmond or North twice, but at the very least we play West Coast twice. So I think that's a win for the fans here, in my opinion. The Doggies, always going to be a tough clash. That's a 7-day break at going into Marvel. And then an 8-day break going into the King's birthday clash against Melbourne. Who knows where they'll be on the ladder at that point. It's sort of hard to get a gauge of where they'll be. It's the Brody Myercheck reunion, isn't it? Collingwood versus Port Adelaide at the G after the bye round. So you got King's birthday, bye round in round 14. And then round 15, we're at the G against Port. And now the floating fixture from round 16 onwards. So as far as like what time and what day, that's still yet to be confirmed. However, we know who we're playing and where we're playing them. So we're playing Richmond, and we travel to Gold Coast, into a North Melbourne. So 2 of those 3 fixtures you'd fancy, but you just never know where North Melbourne will be next year. You get 2 games against Carlton, which I think is just stock standard these days, isn't it? Play Adelaide, so it actually gets quite tough. Similar to last year, it's quite a tough closeout to a season. Travel to Adelaide, play Carlton at the G. Geelong, we played Geelong twice when we played them once last year. West Coast, a little bit of a breather there, but at Optus Stadium late in the season after 2 big games, you can imagine the motivation might not be super high for this game. So this is a red alert game in my opinion. Really got to be mindful. This will probably be a Sunday game as well. And that goes into Hawthorn at the G. So then you're asked to bounce back and get up for this type of game to finish with a blockbuster clash against the Brisbane Lions at the G to close out the season. So very similar. We played Brisbane, we played Hawthorn and Adelaide quite late last season. Next season, it's going to be more or less the same thing. So be ready for that. We'll see what the feedback is like. Let's have a quick look at some of the comments, see how other fans see these fixtures for Collingwood. Instead of the league attempts to equalize the competition by pooling, it's for some clubs it's worked wonders. For others, it's early 2026 nightmare. So the fixtures, every club's fixture ranked. I'm going to pop this open so you can see what I'm actually talking about. I don't know how I'd rank it. I just don't read into it too much. I mean, look how difficult our fixture was last season and we thrived. We flourished. It's just, at the end of the day, the fixture's the fixture. You're going to be put where you're going to be put, whether you like it or not. And the fixture becomes the path. That's the way to go. That's the only way to follow. I wonder where they have Collingwood rated, though. Where? So they got Collingwood. What's this? So this is top 6, middle 6, bottom 6. That's how they sort of go about that. So Collingwood play double up against four teams in the top 6, 1 team in the middle 6, and 1 team in the bottom 6. Brisbane 1. They get 2 in the middle 6, 3. Okay, so a lot of you are going to say, well, we play 4 teams twice in the top 6. That's going to be difficult. That's real. Fair enough. Do they have the ranking, though? We got the 3rd hardest fixture behind Geelong and Gold Coast. Is there anything that's a bit sus here? I mean, GWS is interesting. This is like, we'll see. Sydney, they'll fly up the ladder. Yeah. Intriguing. Don't have a cry about the fixture. It is what it is. I want to play in the biggest games and the biggest time slots that are available as a fan, and I think the players find ways to get up for it. They do that time and time again. So I'm not going to make a meal of this, am I? So I'll leave it at that, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, go Pies.